I do a lot of silly things on the channel, but in all seriousness, this is a real educational video about if you actually want to put a home cage in a closet, wherever you want, this is for you. Right here, we have a conventional puppy cage. You can buy these online for about $900. You can move them around, everything's awesome, very secure, but if you want something that's a little more hidden, something more versatile, you can build one of these. When I say cheap cage, that's accounting for the fact that you might want to make a very secure, a reliable cage. This cage costs around $1,500, and most of that cost comes from the puppy cage. If you're looking to save a little bit of money, I suggest searching Craigslist or eBay. Somebody might be selling one, or even a prison door. I've seen those before. The rest of it is plywood, which, if we're still in COVID times, is a little bit more expensive, but overall it is a relatively cheap build for the quality and assurance of security that you are getting from this. To start off, we have the locks. We have 3 locks. These are conventional locks that you can get from any department store. The main thing you want to be aware of when you're going to buy your locks, you want to make sure that you are getting one with this hole right here. This hole serves the purpose of being able to slide a lock in here so that somebody who's inside can't wiggle their little hands out and unlock the cage that you have. Well, for whatever reason, you might want a cage in your house. Let's move on to the actual door. So these are 2 separate pieces of puppy cage that have actually been joined together. This side stays straight through these hinges right here, and this side through these. To be able to put these in, what you're gonna want is you're gonna want a drill bit that is suitable for metal so that you can drill your own holes. And if you're like us and are looking for that real extra security to make sure nobody can mess with the screws and undo them with a fingernail or even a fingertip, what we do is we go through and find metal binding epoxy or glue, and you cover the tops with that, and you make sure that they're really in there so no prying hands can undo what you've done. So that is the door. Very heavy duty. Nobody's going to be shaking this off or anything. I can promise you that. Let's move to the interior, the actual base of the cage. The whole cage is made out of 3/4 inch plywood. Anywhere that you have your standard drywall, which is in most houses, it's not very thick. If you want to, if you're like a Kyle or something, you're all hopped up on Monster, you can just punch a hole right through that. So easy, and we want to avoid that. We want to make sure that nobody can get out. If you're trying to make yourself secure, somebody else secure, you want to make sure they're actually secure. So what we've done is 3/4 inch plywood on each of the walls, on the back, the ceiling even, and then for right here, to add stability, extra support, extra security, you have 3/4 inch plywood on both sides, and then 2x4 right here to keep it all together. And what you'll want for plywood, so you're not going to be getting splinters, somebody won't get hurt, you want to get cabinet grade plywood. It's very smooth, very suitable for usage, and you'll want to put a lacquer on it and a nice coat of paint. And again, that just cuts down on certain injuries, splinters, whatever might happen. You can see again all the screws right here. They have been covered with epoxy or glue. There is no chance of, sometimes you can't even find them, and then if you do, there's no chance you're going to be able to unscrew that. So all of this together is very secure. You can hear it's like you can push on it, do all of that. I've never even been in here before, honestly, and this is, I would be excited scared if I was put in here. Anyway, moving on. The anchor points. If you look up anchor points on Amazon, you can find whatever kind you need. We have these nice ones with the hooks, full circle, and these are screwed in. Honestly, those could get a nice epoxy covering as well, but they're wonderful. We have one up here, 2 down here, and then 2 over on the sides. Now, when I say you want to put plywood anywhere somebody could mess something up, I mean it. We even put it on the floor down here. And to cover that up, to make it a little comfier for long-term people, we just took a pillow, cut it to size, covered it up, and we didn't even sew the ends. We just duct tape over it so it's nice and together and it's not gonna fall apart. You could put this cage in any spare closet that you have. So you have a utility closet, it kind of just ends up being a junk closet anyway. You can take all that stuff out, find a new home for it, and convert it into this. And if it is already a closet, for just, you know, confidentiality reasons, if you have your conservative parents over and you don't want them to see the cage that you now have in your closet, for whatever reason you may have that cage, you can keep the closet door and then put the cage door behind it, or even just keep the closet door and just add some extra locks, add some extra security, but you really can't beat the actual cage doors and the metal and just the feel, the vibe, the security that all that can get. But again, if you want to keep it a little bit more private, you can always keep the closet door right over and nobody's gonna know the little secret you have in your back closet, which I think is really fun.